to do more listening with Max than more talking.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like if Chris is talking to you, basically, if you're in the dugout and Chris Sale's trying to show you something, you listen.
Right. And if David Price is trying to tell you something, you tell him to go fuck himself.
You tell him how you get that magician act to get $31 million.
Yeah. Show us that little magic trick. Yeah. I had like a weird Matt Barnes tweet the other night, and I'm like, I don't think this makes much sense, but I'm going to tweet it anyway.
I like when you tweets like that. Somebody tweeted something the other day. It was like, I wonder if David Price sold his soul to the devil, and basically him getting this contract said that you couldn't pitch great in October for your whole career. Like, huh?
That's a great point. Yeah, maybe he did. He just took the money and faced the fact he was going to suck. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned him in his contract because we were talking to Indians a minute ago, and Trevor Bauer, we're talking about their long-term sustainability, and Trevor Bauer said in his podcast, well, in the one he appeared on with Jeff Passan, that he was going to take one-year deals, and I'm just wondering if the players union is going to have a big problem with that and basically metaphorically put a gun to his head and say, look, you're just taking the best long-term deal they give you because, whoa.
They got to raise the market.
I just knocked
same thing with Price.
Yeah, right. I was just, so with Price, St. Louis, I think, was giving him, I think, the same annual value roughly, but 1 year less. So they kind of pressured him to take the longer deal with Boston. And so it's just interesting to see how it'll work with Bauer. And here's another thing with Price, too. What if they do take him out of the rotation in October? Like, does that piss him off? Like, does that help him decide to opt out, do you think? Or do you think he would just be fine saying, okay, all right, I'll just be the...
I honestly don't think he cares. I don't think he cares either. I think, if anything, it helps him in his own head because he's like, oh, I can go pitch in the bullpen now and just win a World Series, and, I don't have to, who cares if I can't get a start? I'm not starting. It's not mine. I can't fail them this year, baby. Yeah, and it's like, oh, these guys want me to start? Well, blame the manager. It's not me. I want to start because he's going to go out there and say the right things. I want to help this team out any way I can. Alex knows I want to start. He knows I want the ball in the first inning. But if he thinks I'm more effective helping this team in innings 5, 6, and 7, I'll be there to help my team 5, 6, and 7. He gets to get off the hook from every fan like us saying, yeah, thanks, David, for 5 earned runs and 2 innings in the playoffs again.
That's actually a good point, and I think you guys are probably right about it. Going back to the carpal tunnel thing, like, that's still weird to me, that whole week, how that played out, because I was predicting after his bad start, I think it was against Texas, right before the New York start, I was already saying he's going to find a way out of that. Like, there's no way he's going to make that start. And then it was looking like it was really going to happen, like he was really going to do it. And then it was, 2 days before when it comes down that he's not making the start, and then they flew him to Boston. And part of me back then kind of thought that Price was like just hoping they would find something. Just he was looking for an excuse.
Anything, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe like how you guys were just saying, if they take it from him, then he doesn't have to try to find that way out in the month of October, and it just kind of takes the pressure off. And I mean, none of us really want him starting. Like, we'd be fine with a Porcello, and I don't know. I'm not going to say Pomerantz.
I hate myself for saying this, but I think I want him starting right now. Like, he hasn't pitched bad against anybody but the Yankees, and, one Royals start. Yeah, no, I agree. I'd run him right now. They're 3. If E-Rod was still healthy, I go back to what I said when I first started on this podcast, saying I want David Price in the bullpen to be an Andrew Miller type and just be dominant in the 5th, 6th, and 7th innings. I would love that.
Because he can do that.
He can do that, but right now you need him. You do need him, and if against the Yankees and the series is tied 1-1, maybe you try and figure out somebody else. But if we're up 2-0,
throw
David Price in game.
Velasquez or somebody out there.
Yeah, just roll him. Yeah, exactly.
Do they have to, they can make their decisions day to day in the postseason, can't they? So
nothing's locked in.
Okay, yeah. So
they're probable starters.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
that makes me feel better then. Because
anything.
if you are up 2-0, then okay, on a short leash, then fine. You can go to Velasquez or, heaven forbid, a Mike Fiers type guy or whatever.
Or even Stephen Wright.
Or Stephen Wright.
Like 5, and, I'd be fine with that too. And do I think that helps him and he opts out or something like that? No, I think if anything, he'll stay in and be like, yeah, I'm just a $30 million bullpen guy now. Ha ha.
Just be a parasite.
Yeah, he'll joke around. But somebody that is interesting to me, obviously everyone here knows I don't like Nunez, but he has a $4 million player option next year, and his market value is over $11 million. Would you guys feel comfortable paying Nunez 11? I wouldn't, but do you think that he would opt out and leave $4 million on the table thinking he could get close to 11?
It's an interesting
Somebody's
thought.
dumb enough. Somebody's dumb enough.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at his numbers the past 4 years, 282, 288, 313, he's 252 right now.
Well, I think he could opt out because even if, say, he doesn't get 11, even if he gets 8, he's still coming out way ahead.
Yeah, exactly. I think if he can get that type of money, I think he should opt out. Obviously, I want him to, but even for his own, I mean, why would he stay here for $4 million? We can go get 8 or 9. He's not a Mookie Betts where he'll be getting a big paycheck soon when he's young. He's 31 years old, but I just want him to opt out because I want the roster spot and I want the $4 million because we don't have to pitch.
He goes somewhere else.
But 6.2 from Fiers, $4 million from Nunez, Sales, 8.5 from Pomeranz.
It starts to add up.
Kimbrel, $13 million. Hanley Ramirez, $22 million. Alan Craig, $1 million.
Yeah, here's another thing, though. I don't think they care so much about next year because it's after next year where the penalties get severe.
Just signing another guy.
Yeah, just signing. I think Bogaerts gets a long-term deal. I don't think they want to just go arbitration 1 year. I think they'll extend them through arbitration.
That's the smartest thing to do, though.
Yeah, he's a Boris guy. I don't think they'll do that.
I think they'll try and look something up where, all right, we'll give you $10 million this year for arbitration, but then after that you make $16 million on an extension and sign it. Which I would pay Bogaerts $15-16 million. I think that's what he'll get.
Oh, I think he's going to be more than that. He's getting Hosmer money.
Pay him now because all the highest value for a shortstop is just going to increase. You know what I'm saying? Every single year the value is going to go up. So why not pay him now?
If you look at shortstops in the league right now, Troy Tulowitzki gets paid $20 million. Manny Machado, $16. Elvis Andrews, $15. Crawford, $15. Simmons, $11. Gene Shigera, $9.6. And Didi, $8.5. And then right after that is 7 is Bogaerts at 7.05. But
yeah, I still think he's 20 minimum, I feel like.
All right, so 20 minimum. I don't think Bogaerts gets $25 million in free agency. I don't think Manny Machado is going to get $25 million. Manny Machado will get maybe $25 million in free agency, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Manny get anywhere between 20 and 25. I don't think Bogaerts gets $22 million from a contending team anyway. Any team could pay him, but I think he stays with the Red Sox for 16, 17, 18 over 7-8 years. Not 4 years, not 5. Long-term deal. I'm talking.
I would love to see that. I'm just skeptical that it'll happen.
It's Boris. So
what's going to push him to $25 million a year? That's what I mean. If Manny Machado gets paid $25 million, and he wants to be paid like Manny Machado's numbers, and I love Bogaerts.
Astronomical numbers.
Yeah, Machado's $26 million market value. So say he gets 25 just because it's not perfect. I mean, the dude hits close to 300 and has hit 35, 37, 33, and 24 home runs right now in his career, while batting 286, 294, 259 last year, but 33 home runs, 95 RBIs, 50 walks. This year, 316 with 24 home runs. He'll finish somewhere close to 35. I just don't know if Bogaerts gets 25, so maybe he gets 20 or 19. I still sign him to that, though.
Well, here's something to consider. Why did Ellsbury get $22-23 million a year?
Probably because of his last 1 or 2 years of his deal and potential and just age.
I think it was because of 2011 when he nearly won the MVP, and there's a lot of shadiness I feel like with that year, But I think he might have done something unethical, let's say. But that's why he got that deal. And if Bogaerts is a beast the rest of this year throughout the month of October as well, it's going to elevate him to that exact level. And I think the same could be said for Machado. I mean, he's already had 2 great games with the Dodgers so far, and could minus the high number of home runs, he might have a Manny Ramirez effect on that team, in terms of just overall production, driving in runs, getting a lot of hits. So I think his value is going to climb, and I basically expect him to get probably right around $30 million a year as well.
Man,
so
that's $50 million at this point then, if that's how the market's going to be. That's why I just don't understand how it's going to go, because if that's the case and he gets 30 and Bogaerts wants 35 because he's similar, younger, whatever, and the cap goes up, does Mookie get $50 million a year? Does Harper get 60? Because
that's what I was saying. Like, it just keeps going up.
Yeah, I just don't know if it goes up that much.
Well, I think 40 would be the ceiling on a Harper or a Trout or even a Mookie at this point. But I did see, it was a couple of weeks ago when I saw it, but Rosenthal thinks that Machado is going to get more than Harper, if that says anything.
Well, I believe that. I don't think Harper's getting as much, and Machado is not the defensive wizard that he was 3 years ago, but that could just be from lack of caring, honestly. I don't know what it is. His deal is over there shortstop this year. We'll see what it's like in LA and in the postseason, but Harper has had one really good year. Other than that, he's been, just all name potential, where Machado's had one off year where he batted 250 but still hit, 33 home runs. If Harper can get his average up to 260 this year and hit 40, that's going to help him out. But if he bats 230 and hits 36 home runs, it's not helping his stock, I don't think, by any means.
Until Bogaerts can hit 30 home runs a year, maybe even 35, he doesn't have the same value as Manny Machado.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't think he is going to get that much, because I think if Machado gets 30, I think Bogaerts gets a minimum of 20 is kind of what I'm saying.
I was thinking 21.
Yeah, I think the Eric Hosmer deal is really a good area for Bogaerts, a realistic area is what I'm saying. So that's for them. Let me also mention, we'll start to wrap this up. We'll just go over the pitching matchups in a minute, but I do want to mention the absolute fucking dumpster fire the Mets are.
Let's go.
Syndergaard, hand, foot, and mouth syndrome. Is that how it goes? So he's on the DL. Probably not long term, but maybe the trade situation. I don't know if that was ever going to be realistic anyway, but you got to feel like there's going to be some hesitancy there. And here's my solution for the Mets. This is what has to happen. And it's not going to happen. But trade everyone, fire everyone, and then more importantly than anything else, burn down that fucking stadium and start all over. Like, they need to start over from everything.
Rebuild Shea.
Yeah, exactly. Because that organization is terrible. That's my new number one now. I've always had them in my top 3 with the Marlins and the Angels, but the Mets are the absolute worst, in my opinion.
They've not been on the train. Like, it's great to watch. It's like a weekly sitcom at this point for me. I just see what they're going to do next. I'm like, oh, should have seen that coming. They're the Mets.
Yeah.
They have more guys in their team that they should trade than they should keep.
The entire organization, basically.
Yeah, seriously, it's bad. And they just keep getting worse. And it's just
you go from Syndergaard, DeGrom, Wheeler, Max, Harvey, having this gem of a rotation that nobody could touch. Full of potential. And we're 3-4 years later, and
here's another thing too. Cespedes is back, but clearly way less than 100%, and he's got calcium in his heels or something. I forget what the clinical term is for that.
Both heels calcified.
Calcified. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
surgery on both of them to fix it.
Exactly. Yeah. And the turnaround for that is 8 to 10 months. So why the fuck is he in the lineup